I'm going to show you how to set up a Ferroli boiler. I've done another previous video before, but this one's a little bit more in depth for installers, boiler repairmen, service agents, engineers. This one will actually suit the HE26C, the I-25, I-29, the FER25 in the Euro term. So I'm going to go through a few more parameters. Same as usual, we keep our finger pressed on the reset button, and you can see like a little clockwork style going around. That just acknowledges that you're keeping your finger pressed in the button. It does take a long while. This is basically to stop your customers from having a little go. It takes that long, they can't be bothered in the end. So when you see TS or T5, you let go. Press the reset once again, let go. First parameter we want to go to is the ignition pressure. This is how much ignition it takes to actually fire up the boiler. The burner is very small, so it doesn't take that much ignition. If you come across some of the boilers where they bang on ignition, maybe the ignition pressure is a little bit high. If it's not firing up and it comes up A1 fault, then it's probably too low. I normally recommend start around about 20 to 25, and you adjust that by plus or minus on the top, and you sort of go accordingly. If you have a listen or watch the burners, you'll actually hear how well it lights up. If it comes on with a bang, lower it down. If it's not quite lighting across, then just increase it. Okay, so that's the ignition pressure, parameter 1. Then you're going to go to the ramp rate. So we press the bottom plus button to change the parameter, and the top plus button to see its value. The ramp rate is how fast you want these radiators to heat up. Now up to about 6 radiators, you keep it on about 2 degrees every minute. Anything over 6 radiators, you knock it up to 3. And that's the ramp rate, and that's how fast you want the radiator to heat up. Then we'll go on to parameter 5, and this is the actual temperature, the actual set temperature. So if you set it to about 100 degrees, the customer can actually put this boiler to 100 degrees, and if they've got all the radiators turned off, it might even overheat. And so what we do, we sort of cap it off, let's say 70 to 80, and this is the actual temperature limit set point. Just a point on the actual temperature, when you do set it, when you come out the parameters, this boiler doesn't actually physically acknowledge the temperature you want until 10 degrees after. So if you want to set it at 60 degrees, you have to set it at 50. If you want to set it at 70, set it to 60, but it will get to the temperature that you really did desire, which is an extra 10 degrees. So, and then we're going to go to parameter 6. This is the output, how much load the boiler's got to do. So I think I said on my previous video, each radiator, as a rough guide, give it 10% of the actual output, and it's set at 100. So if you've got 4 radiators, it's 40%, 3, 30%, 2, 20%, and so on. So we're going to say we've got 6 radiators. So we set it to 60% for 6 radiators. You don't really need to go for 70% on this. The reason why, I've got an heat exchanger here which is cut in half. If you just have a look here, this is the actual heat exchanger on all these type of boilers. They're very, very small, and so when they come out the factory, it's 20 odd percent, 20 kilowatts, 25 kilowatts, 29 I think is the highest one they've got. If you can see how small their waterways are, that's not a lot of water to go through there to get heated up at 29 kilowatts all of a sudden. So that's why we have to ramp a lot of it down. So next parameter we're going to go to is parameter 8, and then the top plus button to see its value. This is the actual hot water delay time. This is how quick you want the hot water delay after the central heating's been on. So if you've got the central heating on, you put the hot water tap on, it normally takes up to about a minute, 2 minutes to come back on, but we're going to knock this down to 10 seconds. So within 10 seconds, the boiler will actually come back on for its heating. So that'll help in the morning when everyone's having a shower, using the hot water. Within 10 seconds, it can get back on and do its job again. So that's the parameter 8 hot water delay. We're going to knock that down to 10 seconds. Then we've got the parameter 11, which is the hot water output. The pump overrun. We're going to knock that down to 10 seconds as well. And all these parameters just make that boiler work just a little bit better. This is what you can do on a service. If you've repaired it, change the circuit board, brand new installation, you can set the boiler up, and you might not get a lot of these weird calls from the customer. It's too noisy, it's kettling, and just because you've changed a few parameters and to set the boiler up on commissioning, and it doesn't take that long with the video. And we're going to go to parameter 12, which is the hot water output. And obviously you've seen on the heat exchanger that I showed you, the waterways are that small, you don't really need that type of kilowatt to heat that water up. So we're going to knock this down to 85%. What I will say, when you do commission the boiler, make sure you do your commissioning first, so you can get your kilowatts, you range rate it, and you get all the correct kilowattage and range rated temperatures and that, and kilowatts what you use. Then after you've done that and you fill the booking, then you can range rate it down. Because if it's a 25 kilowatt boiler and you set it up and you try and range rate it, you might end up coming into about a 12 kilowatt boiler, and obviously all your paperwork's going to be wrong then. So they're all the actual parameters, and to come back out of it, press the reset button. It'll go around like a little clockwork style to acknowledge you press the button in. And then when you see the main screen, like you always see when the boiler's in standby mode, then you can let go of the button. There we go, let go of the button. And that's how you set up a boiler which suits the HE26C, the I-25 and I-29, the FER-25 and the Euro term.